All right, guys, we are back at Anime Salt Lake, and I'm here with Trish and David. And this is, I think this is probably one of the coolest clubs right here. So, Trish, tell everybody why you're here.
I just came to bring my daughter. She's a Homestuck character.
So, I'd have to say you're probably one of the coolest moms right now because I know a lot of parents wouldn't bring anybody over. And then, David, tell everybody why you're here.
I'm actually an attendee, and I'm an anime fan, and I love to watch all the cosplayers and everything. So that's what I do. I go around looking at that. I go look at stuff in the artist alley. I go look at stuff they're selling. That's what I'm here for.
All right. So, David, is this your first time at Anime Salt Lake? Or
Anime Salt Lake, not my first convention, but my first Anime Salt Lake, yeah.
All right. How would you say this convention kind of compares to the other ones you've been to?
I like it. A little more relaxed, just as fun.
And then, do you like the environment? The one thing that a lot of people kind of have a misconception about anime is like only kids watch it and everything. Mm-hmm. So how do you kind of think about this environment right here where they try to get everybody to be here and, even kind of break that stigma that only kids watch anime?
Well, I think it's not true that only kids watch anime, but there's an awful lot of a bias in that direction. I feel a little bit like a loner when I'm at my age watching anime.
To be honest, I love seeing anime fans of all ages because I know, like, in Japan, everybody watches anime. Mm-hmm. It's acceptable.
I know.
And I tell people all the time that animes, they have so many different genres, so many different stories that anybody can kind of relate to it. Yeah. And do you kind of feel that way?
Yeah. I mean, I was just telling her all about a bunch of different ones. Some of them will just tear your heart out. Some of them will just make you grin and laugh. Some of them will make you cry. I mean, some of them will just shock the daylights out of you, and I don't mean necessarily in a sick way. I just mean just like, wow, that was an amazing thing that character did, And anybody can identify, if you find the right one, with any anime, with a lot of animes. That's the way I look at it. That's why I think it's worth looking at.
So do you have any animes that you would kind of want to suggest to people who are kind of in the older crowd? I'm not saying that you're old. I'm just saying you're older than what most people think watch anime, and what do you think they would what's a good first starter anime for them?
Oh, well, I don't know. It's hard to say. Someone who's... you have to be careful with anime because some of it's a little suggestive, but but there's an awful lot of general interest ones. And I think, honestly, even some of the adults would love a lot of the cuter ones. I'm thinking of I did watch one now recently called Cheese Sweet Home. Nothing more than just a family adopting a stray cat, but it's really well treated and really cutely treated. And you get to see how it is to be a good neighbor and all this kind of stuff. And let's see, another one. And then there's some that have more adult themes, and I don't mean necessarily in a bad sense, but just adult themes. So, one adult one that's still got some interesting, fun themes is Soul Eater. I don't know. And then Madoka Magica, which is a real mind-bending one. That's what I was talking about, where people just would be amazed at what somebody does in there, and you have to kind of suspend reality a little bit, as you do in all such fantasy things. But it would totally blow anybody away that saw it.
Okay. So do you have any advice for anime fans that are a little bit older, where they're kind of, if they want to come out to these conventions and stuff, any kind of words of wisdom about them?
Yeah, go. Don't worry about cosplaying unless you're comfortable with it. Definitely go to some of the panels. Definitely walk into the artist's alley. Definitely watch anime. You can find it everywhere if you know where to look. It's online, all sorts of places. You can find it in your own home library and in DVDs. Definitely watch it, and definitely follow it, and definitely come to the conventions whether you feel comfortable dressing up or not.
I think that's great words of advice. All right, Trish, I haven't forgot about you. So from a mom standpoint, how do you feel about conventions like these, such as Anime Salt Lake?
At first I was really surprised when I knew she wanted to get into it, because I thought, what is this thing that she's doing? But as I'm here and I'm seeing more and I'm seeing how popular it is, and then to actually take her to the mall and she'll be in character and have people come up and say, hey, you're so-and-so. And it's really amazing how much interest there is and how popular it is. And I think that if you find out your kids are involved in it or they're interested in it, support them. I've learned so much more just sitting here talking to David than I ever learned just talking to her, and it makes me want to go home and look into it some more and read up on it and support her as much as I can, as long as she wants to do it. And if she always wants to do it, that's great.
Have you actually watched any of the animes that she's kind of talked about or anything? Or
Nope, I haven't at all, not yet. But I plan to when I get home.
And do you have any advice for parents out there for so you've been here, I know some parents are kind of a little overprotective. What can you comment a little bit about how safe you would feel sending your kids to one of these conventions?
I think it's a really safe environment. I'm going to actually leave her and then just come back and get her later. She'll be here all day tomorrow. It's a safe environment. Everybody's really they all love each other. Everybody's really friendly, and there's no hostility. It's not inappropriate at all. I haven't seen anything that's really shocked me. So I'm comfortable with leaving her and with her just having a good time. So I think that parents should be really supportive and just let them do it.
Okay. All right, David and Trish, I just want to thank you guys for we kind of just randomly blindsided you on this interview. So I appreciate you guys taking the time and just giving us some different looks from the usual people we interview around here. So we appreciate that. And again, thanks for your time. All right, guys, more coming from Anime Salt Lake after this.